Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel for this Leeds United Master League. We are in Season 2 now. We have European football and we want to go even further than that. You can see there we've made a signing. Let's have a look at that footage. We had to sign him at the end of last season because our scout brought him to us, and that is Bruno Gimerich. What a signing for 21 million he is. So here we agreed the £21 million deal for Gimerich, 41,000 per week. And we've got ourselves a massive signing, really, haven't we? Someone who can elevate this team, especially in the midfield. He's one of those that is good at, going forward as much as he is defensively and all around it in the midfield. And some has compared him to Kevin De Bruyne in a way when he's played for Lyon. But I think he really will complement Dominguez on the right-hand side of the midfield, Dominguez on the left-hand side, and then Calvin Phillips in that holding midfield. And this team is starting to get better and better, isn't it? So this is the way the squad is currently looking, still the same as before. I'm thinking Llorente at 28 years of age now will come out for Schürrle, and Tomasio will come in for Ayling, and that will be the starting back line. Gimerich, Phillips, Dominguez in the midfield 3, and then Rodrigo, Rafinha, Harrison and Darwin Nunez, who's grown to 82 rated. Wow. So we've got a lot of development in this side. That is the bench. The bench can be improved on. That's something we said we always wanted to improve on, which is the squad depth. And that is where we're going to start improving as well. And for the first team, I mean, we've brought in Gimerich, who really, settles the midfield now, doesn't he? And settles the starting 11. And now it's starting to look into this side of the field. The bench. The defence is fine, but the midfield and the sort of striker, wingers especially, we don't have any wingers. That needs to be improved on as well. And we've also gone in for Ben Foster, the cycling goalkeeper, as a third choice keeper. He has been released by Watford, 71 rated, just as a third choice, so we can get class, and he's only 20 years of age, out on loan. And a lot of players are going to leave this summer. However, Somerville has stood out to me, only 20 years of age, 72 rated. He could be one for the future here at this club. He looks actually quite good, and another loan for him. Maybe comes back in the future, the Dutchman, and plays some football for us. And these are the three sides promoted for this season: West Brom, Fulham and Swansea City. So striker isn't currently top of my list, it's the wing positions, and we want someone who can play possibly as a backup to Rafinha, and then someone who can play maybe battling with Jack Harrison on that left hand side. So as for the right hand side, we've got a lot of players here. We've got Malcolm, we've got Adama Traore, but I mean 40 million, 24 million. Bedrock and Calves for 20 million would be really good actually, but I don't think he's going to be the man. Solai would only cost 5. Dan James, who spent the season on loan here, would cost 11.4. Collado, 33, Tete 21, Carabao Dembele 25 million. Clearly he's growing pretty highly. We got Pedro Del Vega as well, but Noah Lang is a person who's been linked with Leeds United a lot. 78 rated, 22 years of age, and he would come in at around 20.5 million, which is a bit more than I expected to pay for him. And maybe we can negotiate a deal with them. I mean, do we offer a player in this deal actually and get this deal down? Someone like Tyler Roberts. Let's have a look at our market value of players. Someone like Tyler Roberts, maybe even Patrick Bamford. I mean, I don't think he'd move there. But let's have a look who we could offer in this one. Edmondson is actually worth quite a bit. 20 years of age, 69 rated. But Tyler Roberts would be the one. We'd bring it down to 16 million. 4-year deal. 32,000 per week, a big gold bonus. Let's see how that one works out. I think that might be a difficult deal to complete for Noah Lang, which is frustrating. Maybe there's other people to go for. There's another person on my list that actually sticks out to me. We've also got another player I'm interested in on the right hand side to play backup, and that was initially Dan James, but Brentford have been relegated. They've got an 80 rated winger here, and in Buemo, look at the pace, look at the skill he's got dribbling. He is the man for 12 million. And he's not convinced of his role at the club. 44,000 per week, 3-year deal, bit of a goal bonus. He can play back up to Rafinha next season if we can bring him in. Attacking midfield is an issue. Attacking midfield definitely an issue. We've got a few players here that interest me. I mean, Hungarian Gomez of, used to be of Manchester United at Lille. Only 5 million release fee. That does catch my eye. It really does. But these other players here that catch my eye as well. The Arcacesta would be the one I'd go for, more experience, but it's just impossible to sign. Isco would be a good one, but 29 years of age, he's only on the decrease, isn't he? Claudinho stands out to me as well. Red Bull, Braganato, Bragantino, he would come in at around 11 million. And he can play that Rodrigo role. And he can play as a backup to Rodrigo on 30,000 per week. A 5-year deal. A big goal bonus. And he's only 24, 25 years of age. So that'd be a backup. And on the left-hand side, if we can't bring in the other one that was Noah Lang, then maybe Todd Cantwell. Again, similar to Jack Harrison, not really a pacey player, but very, very skillful. And I think that would be our transfer window over, to be honest with you. There's maybe a few other positions to look at. Holding midfield is one, possibly, for backup to Calvin Phillips, but we don't want to be spending big money. You know, someone like Florentino Luis at 10 million would be it, but depends how much money we've got left. I'm happy with that. Let's see how those deals move. But Gimerich, she's already improved our squad massively and put us up to, I think, pure European standard now in this Leeds United team. Well, our scout report is currently bringing us back some very interesting players to play as a backup or to take over from Nunez, but I think Nunez is our starter now. We want someone to replace Patrick Bamford. We've got Dembele here, Morales, Patrick Schick, Edouard, who's only 23, Daniel Marlin, Moise Kean from Everton, and also now El Nassiri, 24 years of age. All very good options, but that's the last thing in our list, which is the backup to Darwin Nunez. We have got Bamford, and it just depends on the movement of Bamford in this transfer window, depending on if we bring in a new striker to be backup probably to Darwin Nunez rather than start ahead of him. Or someone who can just challenge him, someone at a similar rating, not higher rated. So El Nassiri and Moise Kean, probably the players we wouldn't go for. The negotiations for Mbeumo have broken down. We'll have to try that one more time. And similar to Darwin Nunez, they rejected the first time, come back the second time. Noah Lang has also fallen through. Claudinho hasn't, and Ben Foster hasn't either. So 4,000 per week for Ben Foster to be our third choice goalkeeper, and then Claudinho 11.7 million, 36,000 per week. He wants a bit of an appearance bonus, and he will be the backup to Rodrigo, possibly could take over from Rodrigo in the future, so that's a very good signing there. And the wing positions, which is something we need to sort out, is yet to be solved, and we've started to search a left winger in the scout report, but we'll have another look at other players really. So Mbeumo at the moment, not quite, but we could go back in for him. I don't know whether we give someone like Todd Cantwell a go, although he might be better in a sort of attacking midfield role, and he's going to cost 23 million, which is a lot more than we've been looking at. We might even go for Ryan Kent here. Ryan Kent seems like a good option, in fact, on that left-hand side. 9 million is cheaper than Lang. He's also a lot older and also not as good. And we want someone to eventually take over from Harrison. Ryan Kent probably similar to Harrison, so we'll give it a bit of time and see what happens with negotiations for players, whether we can maybe still go back in for Mbeumo. So here is our new Brazilian to play that Rodrigo role, that attacking midfield, in behind the striker role. A very creative forward in Claudinho. He's impressed for a side in Brazil, and now's his chance to try and impress in the Premier League. We did look at Matheus Cunha, but he would be, 40 million from Hertha Berlin. It was just too much money. So Claudinho was the man to bring in and do the job here at Leeds United. Well, we've gone back in for Mbeumo. We're going to go back in for Lang as well. But I'm actually having second thoughts about Lang rather than Mbeumo. I think we can probably find another left winger instead of him at the price. And we'll just go for Mbeumo. And let's have a look at left wingers, see if there's anyone that also catches our eye. Well, at the moment, I can't really find too many left wingers that are quite catching my eye just yet. But we'll keep looking. We'll keep the scouts looking. If not, then we'll go back for Noah Lang. You see there, Daniel Farker of Norwich City has resigned. That's a very interesting one. I don't know who's going to take over from him, but that's a very strange decision from him. Well, negotiations for Mbeumo have broken down once again. He clearly does not want to move to Leeds United. So it's back to the drawing board and back to try and find some more players to play in these wing positions for us. Well, a player that's popped up on our scout report is Maximiliano Gomez, a player that I rate very, very high in this game. 86 finishing, 91 heading. Said a few times how good he is. Now, we said we didn't want to sign a striker that's better than Darwin Nunez, but we can pick up a man who has a release fee of 30 million and a worth of 23 million. I wonder if it's the same for El Nassiri. Well, El Nassiri is going to cost 19 million he's worth. But we can pick up a man who's worth that much money for around 14.5 million. I think this is a sort of, gap in the market we can't afford to turn down here. Him and Nunez will share the battle up top, but 14.5 million, if that happens, that is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, look at the finishing, 86 finishing, 91 heading. I don't think we'll have a finishing problem up top. I know Nunez sometimes doesn't finish his chances. That man will finish his chances. I mean, I can't believe we can get him so cheap from what his value is. I know the wing areas are an issue still, aren't they? And they will try and get sorted. We've made a move in the market I didn't expect to make, and now we really do need to move on Patrick Bamford if that's the case. Well, as for the right wing position, Solai has been brought to us once again. He's not the quickest of wingers really, and he's more of a crosser from that right hand side. But Freiburg are happy to sell him for around 2.2, 2.5 million. We'll try and get him 2.2. I know we wanted him Burmo. He was going to cost 10 million more than that. But Solai in the cheap is probably the right way to go. We'll get a more expensive left winger really, and they both can play on either side. I'll give him a bit of a goal bonus. So Solai could be the man for right wing purely because that's what the scout reports are bringing us now. I know there's a few people in there, Musiala and players like that, but they don't seem very realistic for Leeds United, do they? Solai probably is. Maximiliano Gomez, in a way I could see him move to Leeds. I mean, look, Timo Werner there, Kakare, Guendouzi. Again, you know, the scouts bring back some players you think, yeah, no chance we'd ever sign them, really. But you can get them on the cheap. Luckily, Gomez was a big target for mine. One that I didn't think we'd get till maybe Season 3. But to bring him in now, to share the role with Darwin Nunez up top, that is a fantastic sign if we can get it done. The same for Solai for only 2 million on that right-hand side. I think it's a move we can't turn down. And then we continue to look for that left-handed side player to play a backup or maybe even take over from Harrison. Because Harrison is maybe not exactly my style of winger. So Valencia have come back. They want 18.5 million for Gomez. Though it's not as cheap as we thought it'd be, but it's still pretty cheap. Let's drop that to 14.8 and give him a big sell-on fee because I don't think we're going to have a chance to sell him. We'll negotiate with them. 14 point. I mean, how can we get a player of his quality so cheap? I don't know. Well, 2.5 million for Solai, 25 or 26,000 per week. That is a very good deal, isn't it, for a right winger when we're looking to pay 12 for one. So there we are. Solai joins the club for 2.5 million, and now we look for Gomez. We look for a left winger, and we look to try and move on Patrick Bamford, who probably will come in at the same price that we've sold Gomez for, which is very interesting. Well, there we have negotiated, and it's completed for less than 15 million. You know, look at that. Nearly 10 million less than his market value. We're going to bring in Maximiliano Gomez. What a signing that is. Our first big signing, really. You know, massive player. Leaves us 32 million left to sign a left winger, which we're not going to spend all of. But what a signing that is. 14.8 million. Ridiculously good signing for that price. Now we need to move on Patrick Bamford, don't we? We really do. And here is our new big signing, the Uruguayan. 2 Uruguayan strikers now at the club in Maximiliano Gomez and Darwin Nunez. And some have said, you know, compared them to Edison Cavani and Luis Suarez. Gomez no way is near Luis Suarez's sort of level, but someone has compared him at the time. I don't think he is. He's a very different style of player. But 2 Uruguayan strikers at the club. A skilled and, you know, lively Brazilian Claudinho in behind. We've made some really good signings here. So for left wing, we're currently looking at these options. Luis Diaz of Porto will cost us 16.3 million. Don't think he's interested in a move to the club, which he isn't. We've got Noah Lang, who we've tried a few times. He's rejected the club twice. Ryan Kent, again, not so interested in the club, would cost us around 10 million. I'm uncertain, really. I'm really uncertain out of those places to sign. There's Pedro de la Vega as well, Argentinian. I think we're just going to have to wait for the scouts and see if they bring one in before the end of the season. That is probably the last signing we will make. Other than that, I'm happy with the squad. Well, Somerville, we've actually lost him. He's refused to sign a contract extension. The young man who we had high hopes for, but he's going to join Emen. He refused to sign a contract extension, so we have lost him. We've got a bit more budget, but that is a shame. He was one that I thought for the future, clearly not. And Junior Firpo, an offer for Firpo from Bournemouth. No, we won't be selling Firpo, and we'll definitely refuse our offers for him. So Bielsa in for his press conference. How are you feeling about the first match? We'll make the fans proud, says Marcelo Bielsa. And that's all we can try and do. There's only one little hole in the squad, really, that left-hand side. And lots of players to sell now. I mean, Bamford and players like that, we need to try and move them on if we can. So this is our side for our first game of the new season. Meslier in goal. We've got Tamasiu. We've got Perchers and Firpo in the back three. Bruno Gimerich, Calvin Phillips, the captain, and Dominguez in the midfield three. And then it's Jack Harrison, Rodrigo, and Rafinha in behind Darwin Nunez. On the bench, we've got Sergio Romero, second choice goalkeeper, Diego Llorente, Robin Koch, Luis O'Brien, Claudinho, Poveda and Maximiliano Gomez. And even we've got players in the reserves that can finally get in the side. Ben Foster, Luke Ayling, Strauch, Bate, Klitsch, Roberts, Saloy, the new signing, who's actually going to go on the bench ahead of Poveda, and Bamford. So Saloy in there as well, the new number 27 who can come on for Rafinha. So what a side we've got. And Chelsea there, they've gone with Edouard Mendy in goal, Reece James, Timori who's come back from Milan, Thiago Silva, Christensen and Chilwell, the back five, Kante and Jorginho in the midfield too, and then it's Pulisic, Ziyech and Romelu Lukaku up top through the middle. That's someone we need to worry about today. So new season, new team, and we face Chelsea on the opening day. What a game to start the season. Their captain is Romelu Lukaku, our captain there, Calvin Phillips. Only, I think, one new signing there in Gimerich. Everyone else is on the bench. Maximiliano Gomez could make a massive, massive impact off the bench as well, as we face the Chelsea side that underachieved massively last season, and Thomas Tuchel's side looking to do something very different in Season 2 here. So Leeds United versus Chelsea, and it is live from Ellen Road. Pulisic in the middle to Lukaku. Chelsea look to counter here. Lukaku little back heel into Kante. Reece James. Dominguez across. Dominguez wins it. Says to Nunez, have a run. Nunez around Thiago Silva. Nunez. Oh, across to Rafinha in space. Into Rodrigo, who puts it wide the post. Nunez's pass just way too heavy for Rafinha here. Does so well the striker when he pulls it back. Needs to be better ball into Rafinha so he could hit it first time. He pulls it into Rodrigo, who slices it wide of the post. There's a ball onto Pulisic here. Christian Pulisic, there's two chasing him. No one can stop Pulisic. And the American puts it wide of the post. But one area of Pulisic's game is finishing that he needs to improve on. We've seen it first hand here. Through on goal, you're thinking, surely he's going to score. He's as bad as our finishing. Slices it wide. Nunez. Rodrigo. Through to Rafinha. It's just a bit too heavy. Chilwell can get there ahead of him. Harrison pressing, and that is 0-0 at half-time. We've looked very good, haven't we? We've looked very, very good. Better side than Chelsea. Just haven't got that finishing touch, which is the same as last season. Lukaku. Schürrle goes with him. Kante. Jorginho. James. Hakim Ziyech. Ooh, good strike from Ziyech on his right foot. Good save from Meslier. Chilwell. Lukaku with a header. Be very tough to generate the power to beat Meslier from there. Reece James. Gonna go backwards here. N'Golo Kante. Pulisic. Lukaku. Lukaku turns. Lukaku shoots. Meslier with a save. And he clears it away. Play out that danger, don't we? Gimerich. Dominguez. Harrison. Firpo. Great movement. Firpo. Rodrigo! 1-0 Leeds United. Great play from Firpo on the overlap. Gives Jack Harrison the option, who threads the ball through to him. And Rodrigo is at the far post once again. And he's set off well this season, similar to last. Great ball through to Firpo. Strength against Reece James across the box. What is N'Golo Kante doing? Why is Thiago Silva not stuck his leg out here to try and stop this one? Good play from Junior Firpo. And a good finish from Rodrigo. Edouard Mendy puts it into the bottom corner. Leeds United 1, Chelsea 0, and Chelsea might think they've been the better side. But we lead here. And Dominguez. Back heel to Harrison. Firpo involved again. Firpo with a swing in. Nunez is in there. Firpo down to Dominguez. Over to Rafinha! Oh, it's just wide for the Brazilian. Great ball from Dominguez in behind the Chelsea defence. And Rafinha's just put it wide of the post on his right foot, his weaker right foot. Great ball by Dominguez. So unlucky Rafinha hasn't scored there. Rodrigo. Ball played again. Gimerich. Rafinha. Away from Chilwell. And inside Chilwell. Rafinha! And then into the hands of Edouard Mendy. But that was a great run from the Brazilian. Very tricky. Tying Ben Chilwell up in knots there. Harrison. Great ball. Rafinha. Rafinha. Rodrigo! What a save from Edouard Mendy. And cleared away. Kante up. Pulisic. Beat Tomasio there, but Couldn't get it. It's a poor one from Junior Firpo. Gives Chelsea the chance to counter, but it's not enough. And that is full time. Leeds United 1, Chelsea 0. We get 3 points against a very good side on the opening day of the season. And some of the players who made the debuts were fantastic today. Well, Klaassen is having some issues with his contract, and it seems that we're not going to be able to keep him. Preston North End have offered 1.8 million for him. And we'll just accept that. Clearly, Klaassen is in bad morale. He doesn't want to stay at the club. We'll have to let him go, which is a shame. We've had a loan off for Strauch, who not going to get much game time, so I've said we'll take him on a 1-year loan to Cologne. That's fine with us. Diego Llorente, sorry, £25 million offer from Werder Bremen. We've got plenty of centre-backs. I mean, is there anyone at Werder Bremen that's interesting to us? Agu as well, and they've got some interesting players. Agu is a left-back. He's a right-footer, so nothing interesting. But if they pay 30 million for Diego Llorente, I'm happy to let him go. We've got Kosh and Schurz that can play through the middle. We'd probably sign someone to play as a backup to Firpo on that left-hand side, maybe a cheaper option. But 30 million for a player like Llorente, who's not the best in the world, that's probably a good deal. Well, next it's Manchester City, and then we will end the episode with our first ever Europa League game, I think, against Montpellier. So, Leeds United back in Europe, in the Europa League. But first we've got to get this Manchester City game out of the way. They beat us twice to the double overs last season. We weren't great when we played against them. Hopefully, we have a different sort of game today. We've got a few players in this game going into it with downwards condition. Dominguez completely down, and Darwin Nunez out of sorts as well. Kosh in complete upwards condition, so he comes in for Per Schurz. O'Brien comes in for Dominguez, and Maximiliano Gomez comes in for his first start ahead of Darwin Nunez. And that shows the quality we have in the team now, that we can afford to drop Dominguez, we can afford to drop Darwin Nunez, because we've got someone who's just as good to come in and replace him in the games, and that shows our quality, doesn't it, in the squad. As for Manchester City, they've got Zach Steffen in goal, Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz and Zinchenko in the back four, Rodri, De Bruyne and Jack Grealish in the midfield three, and it's Raheem Sterling, Bernardo Silva and Gabriel Jesus up top. On the bench, Bustos, Foden, Gundogan, Fernandinho, Walker Stones and Ederson. So here we are, Manchester City versus Leeds United. We face Pep Guardiola's side, hoping to this time maybe get a result against them. After in previous, last season, the previous season, we lost twice. Raheem Sterling with a screamer in the first one, and then 2 wonderful goals from Jesus and Sterling again, I believe, in the second one. We just couldn't handle them, but hopefully it's something a little bit different today. Manchester City versus Leeds United, Bielsa versus Guardiola, and it's live in the Premier League. Phillips did better. Gosh, we're away from Zinchenko here. Good swing in. Rodrigo! Oh, great palm from Steffen. Oh, and then it's Harrison on the rebound, and Steffen saves again. Not sure why Ederson isn't starting. Here's Phillips into Rafinha. Rodrigo away from Zinchenko. Then to Rafinha. Rafinha. Maximiliano Gomez in there, and it's knocked away by Aymeric Laporte, helping himself out with Diaz. Well, a double win over Manchester City and Chelsea to start the Premier League would be a really good start, wouldn't it? Here's Gimerich. Edge of the box to Rafinha. Gimerich again. Harrison. Into Gomez. It's hit him and he's still kept it here. Diaz. Oh, it's a clear foul on Gomez in the box there from Ruben Diaz. Surely see you later, Zinchenko. It is see you later, Zinchenko. It's Rafinha! Tries to beat Zach Steffen at that near post in the top corner. Didn't really have a pass in the middle. Diaz and Laporte had it marked off. Here's Bernardo Silva. Good play from Rodrigo. Nicks it back off him. O'Brien. Phillips, and that's half time. 0-0 again. And it's going to have to be a nick, maybe. A 1-0 to beat Manchester City here. Swung in by De Bruyne. Calvin Phillips. Not enough on it. Cancelo! Ooh, on his left foot. We know he's got a decent left foot. Cancelo can play at left back because of how two-footed he is, but that wasn't good enough from there. Back into Rafinha. O'Brien. Finally, Firpo makes the run. Firpo. Gomez over the bar by Maximiliano Gomez. Gets right underneath it there. Someone with 91 heading. You expect a better opportunity there. I think it was sort of looped into him really by Firpo. Needed a bit more whip on it. A bit more power. Pressure from Rodri. Oh, he's done brilliantly. Harrison. Firpo. Firpo. Oh, Rafinha's at the far post and we lead by 1-0. We got a little bit lucky there. Junior Firpo with his second assist of the season. And it's Rafinha. O'Brien took his time, waited for Cancelo to commit. Wide to Jack Harrison, into Rafinha. Laporte bullied by Firpo. And Rafinha with a tap-in. 1-0 Leeds United. They've got to be worried with that, Manchester City. Gimerich. Harrison. Well, Rodrigo wasn't injured for that long. Rodrigo! Oh, it's just past the post. On the floor, looked like he was down and out, Rodrigo. And back up to try and finish the chance. We'll see it here. It's a nasty one from Ruben Diaz, isn't it? Gimerich away. Claudinho away. Rafinha. Counter Leeds United. Oh, he's kept it, Rafinha. He's away from Rodri twice. Through to Saloy. Saloy! Good save by Stephanie. Had Maximiliano Gomez waiting for it. Should have gone across the box maybe to him. Claudinho on his debut! Wide of the post. It wasn't a bad hit by him, actually. Saloy probably could have gone to Gomez, but I think Diaz would have won it. We know how good Diaz is in the air. I don't think we'll make a substitution. I'm just going to bring Darwin Nunez on for the last few moments. Phil Foden's on for them. If they can get the ball forward, which Diaz does. And Walker wins the knock-on. And here's Gabriel Jesus. And what a tip over the bar from Meslier. Crucial save there from the Frenchman. One of the best goalkeepers in the league. We've said that plenty of times now. Walker up for it to knock it on. Meslier with it. Great palm over the bar. The only thing is they've got a corner now. Diaz, Laporte, the big men in there. We need to be perfect here. Gundogan with a swing in. It's up towards Jesus who wins the header. Saloy away. Gomez, and that's full time. Another 1-0 win for Leeds United. And this time we beat Manchester City. We've beat both them and Chelsea at the start of the season. How incredible have we been? Well, Strauch has agreed a 1-year loan to Cologne, which we'll accept. And let's see what this is for Llorente. 30.8 million. They've agreed that deal. What a deal that is. We've got enough centre-backs. Llorente leaves. We've got 67 million now. And that means we can spend a little bit bigger on a left winger. And I'm going to have a look through the options because it's deadline day. We need to make our move swiftly. But maybe we could get a high rated, an 80+ rated left winger. Well, I've been looking at our left wing options. A few players have stuck out to me. Everton from Benfica. Can pick him up for around 28 million. Great dribbling, great pace. Decent shooter as well, actually. Which is interesting. Or maybe Jeremy Doku. He would cost around the same, so we're going to go for both of them. 28 million for Doku, just under 30 million. I think they paid that around that for him. 46,000 per week. Doku, pace, skill. We'll make him a left winger. And we'll go for Everton as well. 28 million. 5-year deal. 65,000. It cost a little bit more, but he's higher rated. Is there anyone else there that we could go through? I'm not sure. I think we'll stick with them too, actually. Maybe as a backup we go for this Colombian man. Luis Diaz from Porto. 16.3 million. Again, 40,000. And we'll go for those three. So we either get Doku. I mean, Doku would be amazing, wouldn't it? Diaz or Everton. So let's see who we can bring in on deadline day. Hopefully one of them, and not all three, will jet the club. Well, Doku wants 51,000 per week, but he's happy to join for 28 million. Everton's going to cost a bit more. We want 79,000 per week, so let's end that deal. And Diaz will cost 16 million. He's got wants a low release fee because he's got idea on his next club. So, tell you what, let's get Doku. Welcome to Leeds United. What a sign he is, the Belgian winger from Rennes. I think they paid around 28 million for him. So they've actually made no money on him. And we've just signed an absolute incredible player. So for our final game of the episode, we face a team in the Europa League. It's just one match, says Bielsa as he talks with his captain, Calvin Phillips. And the game is against French side, Montpellier. So this is the side we're going to go with for our first Europa League game. We've got a couple of players, a lot of players in downward condition actually. Rodrigo, Dominguez, Bates, Alien, Pershiers. This is the side we're going to go with. Sergio Romero comes in goal for his first ever appearance for us in the Europa League in all competitions. We've got Tomasiu, Koch and Junior Firpo in the back three. Bruno Gimerich, Calvin Phillips and O'Brien in the midfield three. It's Rafinha, Claudinho and Jack Harrison in behind. Maximiliano Gomez. On the bench, we've got Darwin, Nunez, we've got Saloy, Roberts, Klitsch, Ayling, Schürrle, and Meslier. No Doku today, no debut for the new number 7. He'll probably get his chance over the next few games. So, European football returns to Ellen Road. And today, we face French side Montpellier in our first game in the Europa League. It's been a long time since Leeds have played European football, but now is the chance to show it again. Montpellier have got a decent side. Omlin in goal, the Swissman, Pedro Mendes, I think the centre-back, Portuguese. They've got a couple of players like Delort and Savernier in there, but I think we should be getting the first 3 points in our European competition journey this season today. So Leeds versus Montpellier, and it's live. Great play by Gomez. It's Harrison. Oh, brilliant from Harrison. Harrison. Gomez! Oh, and he gets his first Leeds United goal, I think, the number 15. Uruguayan up top. Really just hits that with power down the middle at the goalkeeper, Omlin. Great work from Harrison here. Gomez lays it off. Harrison skips round the fullback. Really good play. Managed just to pull it back to Maximiliano Gomez. And, I mean, he hits that with so much power straight down the middle. Omlin should do a lot better there, shouldn't he? I think you're very disappointed, the Swiss goalkeeper, with that one. Very good goal by Gomez. On 1-0, we lead straight away with Leeds United. Good start to our Europa League campaign. Could we possibly win the Europa League, get into the Champions League, even if we don't, you know, finish top of the league or so higher up in the league, which I don't think we will do, although we've set off the season really well, haven't we, in this first episode? They aren't working. Oh, it's a poor one from Gimerich. Delort. Oh, through the legs of Junior Firpo. There's a chance in the box here. Gimerich has missed the bounce. Luckily, I mean, it was his mistake that caused that attack. He's made up for it. To Gomez. Oh, he's tried to work it wide there. But he took too long in the end. Oh, what a ball that is. Dolly. Dolly! Oh, what a save from Sergio Romero. Dolly with a chance there. What a ball this is, by the way. From Savernier, I think it is. What a ball. Dolly should score. He's actually gone towards, you know, lower cross Romero. Romero's done really well to get a hand on that, actually, in the end. It's Harrison. Oh, good turn again. Firpo. Oh, swings one in. Oh, he's gone for the volley, Firpo. Mistake. I was actually trying to cancel that because I'd already shot with Gomez on the header. Well done, Robin Koch. Oh, great ball in behind, though. Again, from the midfield, O'Brien's across. He can't stop it. Laborde. Into the box. Oh, it's a good goal. Very good goal. All level. That ball there is incredible. And they work into the box. It's an easy finish in the end, isn't it? I don't know who they have up top because it didn't look like Laborde either there. It is Delort. It is Delort. Laborde is on the right-hand side. It looked like they said Delort come off. Maybe they have another Delort. I'm not quite sure. Claudinho. In behind to Saloy. Good cross by Saloy. Gomez with a header. Gomez on the rebound. Blocked away. Oh, nearly. I have to say, Saloy, what a ball in. That's what he's good at. Getting down that byline. Getting those balls in. Gomez. Oh, he's too slow there. Robin Koch. It looks like Nunez won't get on. Claudinho. Harrison. Saloy! Oh, and then Maximiliano Gomez can't put in the rebound. It looks like it's going to be a point shared between us and Montpellier to end this episode and to start our Europa League campaign. It's Mollet with a goal for Montpellier. So that ends it. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. We've kicked off Season 2 of the Leeds United, Master League now. So please do continue to like the videos. Hopefully you enjoy these videos on this Master League. We'll see you next time.